all the years that I...
As the temperatures continue to drop and fall is in full swing, everything is dying in my garden, which is honestly kind of a bittersweet time just because I spend so much time in the summer planting and harvesting and preserving and trying to use everything that I can in my garden. One of the things that I did dry is a lot of my herbs, so I had lavender, mint, catnip, chamomile, things like that, and I pretty much don't use them in the summer just because, I don't know, I don't want tea in the summer. So this is kind of my tea season. I'm hoping that I put enough up this year. I don't think I did because once it started warming up and I was actually getting other food out of my garden, I wasn't so focused on preserving the herbs. It's not even difficult, but I basically harvest them and then they have to sit in a drying rack for at least a week or two, depending on whether it rained or things like that. But I am always so grateful that I put this tea up. Another reason that I love fall and winter is because in the summer, whenever I cook or bake, my house gets so hot. We live in an older house. Our house was born, I think, in the 50s. Our house was built in the 50s. It's a very old house. It is not insulated well. The window above the sink doesn't even work. So it's a pretty big window, but it is on our to-do list to replace that window, but I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, the point is it gets really hot in my kitchen and we have a pocket door since we have a pretty old house, and in the summer I will literally close this pocket door and basically trap myself in a sauna. It's either a sauna or it's hell, I'm not sure which, but it's extremely hot. One of these years I'm going to get a thermometer because I'm pretty sure it gets over 100 degrees. I do love cooking and baking once the temperatures are cooler, so today I am making a really simple crock pot meal. I just got into crock pot meals. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've had this crock pot in my basement. I mean, I think I got this at my wedding, and I've been married like long time, over a decade. But I just got into crock pot meals actually this summer. I was hoping that it would prevent my kitchen from heating up. That was a fail. I don't know if it's because I have an older crock pot or what, but I kind of am obsessed with it because I like making freezer meals. I put them in gallon bags, pop them in the freezer, pull it out the night before, pop that bad boy in. It is a little challenging on the days that I work because I don't get home at a decent time and I just don't feel comfortable leaving it on all day. Maybe if I had one of those like fancy Wi-Fi ones, I would enjoy it or feel safe with it, but I just don't love that. So I typically will leave the crock pot meals for my days off and the weekends and things like that. But this was a super good recipe. I made it up and I will try to put it in the description for you guys. And I am working on a blog, so I'll be able to post more of my recipes on the blog and I'll try to test them and, make them legit and things. But this was a super good recipe. It pretty much just had like potatoes, some green pepper. I think I did slice up a jalapeno. I put a home canned jar of this corn in there. Like I said, look down in the description. I think I wrote it down somewhere. So hopefully that's a thing. I always test my home canned food myself. I figure if it tastes funny or there's something wrong with it, I just volunteer as tribute because I don't know. Even though you can't taste botulism and you can't smell it, but typically if something's going to be off with the canned food, you're going to kind of have an idea. So I always just try to check my seals. But as long as the seal is good, I'm usually pretty happy. And this is some broth that I actually had frozen. I try to can my broth, but sometimes I slow cook the broth all day, or I just basically simmer it in a pot all day. And when it's bedtime, the last thing that I want to do is can it. So I actually have a lot of broth in my freezer right now. In my next video, I will talk about how I make my broth. All of my vegetable broth is actually made from scraps, so keep an eye out for that video. It's going to be kind of a cozy preservation day. I pretty much am just getting everything stirred together, the spices and the vegetables, and then I added 1 quart of that broth, so about 4 cups of broth, just enough to help it cook because I do add a can of coconut milk once it's done cooking. Here is my broth bag. It fills up really easy in the summer, so I make a ton of broth in the summer, and I find the best broth is with tomato scraps. It's so good. But as always, with cooking from scratch or preserving, I do so many dishes, you guys, it's not even funny. We probably do 2 to 3 loads of dishes a day. I am so grateful for this dishwasher because I can pretty much just, unload it, load it, pop the dishes in, and just honestly be done with it. And what a blessing. So I wanted to make a cozy dessert, and initially I wanted to make apple pie, but I just didn't have it in me to make pie crust from scratch. I kind of spent the entire day in the kitchen, so what I decided to do is make an apple crisp, and I had canned apple pie filling from last year in my basement. We really haven't gone through it as much as I thought we would have, so since I had that was already made up. All I really had to do was make the topping, which was super simple, really minimal ingredients. Those are my favorite kinds of recipes when it's just like 5 to 10 ingredients. Usually you have them in your pantry, so that was the inspiration for today, was the apple pie filling.
Well, I don't wanna wait at the end of the road, just enough to go round. Some say there's still hope if you don't make a sound. Well, I just wanna scream. We're at the rainbow's end.
coconut milk that I forgot to film. There it is.
This time I'm half right all the time. I'm half right all the time. All the time. I've been trying so hard, and finally it gets me down. Down to earth, down to hell, down to all that is left. Well, I don't wanna go beyond the rainbow's end. What do you see in me? Well, love is a dream. You know I'm way past my prime. I'm half right all the time. I'm half right all the time. All the time. All the time.
It's not what we said.
It's recording.
I think I need to turn the lights on to show everybody what it actually looks like. Ooh, it's hot as Is it on? Ooh, that's hot as okay. It looks good. That looks real good.
Dad helped me prepare the TV.